Hoy miga! Machika.
Now turn up.
Hey my mega, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about brows, and more brows. We're talking about a lot of brow products that we have out in the market and the differences between each product. I'm gonna break down the pros and cons of each of the products, so let's begin. So as you can see, I don't have anything on my brows right now. Yesterday I was able to groom them and I did try to clean them up a little bit. I'm very excited to do this because it's gonna be my first time to really delve into the brows and, you know, my favorite part of the face basically. Just a little backstory, when I was working in Dubai, obviously I can't wear a lot of makeup. So what I really did focus on was my brows. So I really took the time to perfect my eyebrows every time I go to work. And I guess throughout the whole process, I was able to really do a lot of brows on myself and on the clients that I work with. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about will be all about gel. So I have here the gel liners. I'm gonna pick up my angle brush right here. And I'm taking a little bit of that product at the back of my hand and just really making sure that I just have a tad bit of that. The next thing that I'll do is to load my brush up. I'm not putting a lot of products on the brush because again, we can build up the look of the eyebrows as we go along. One of the things that I like about gel product is that they're very easy to apply. Basically start off by putting a line underneath the eyebrows to serve as a guide, and then create the tail at the end. Next is I'm gonna do the top, but usually for the top, I just do the sides because I still want to have that feathered look, especially right around here. I don't want that to be too harsh. And whatever is left in the brush, that's what I'm going to push up into the brows going in. And the best thing about gel liners for the eyebrows is that they are very precise, so you don't have to clean them up afterwards. One more thing is that you can really control the intensity of the product. So it depends how dark you want the product to be or how faded or light the product is. So that's one of the benefits of using a gel product. Another thing that I like about gel products is depending on the product that you use, it can go waterproof or water resistant. So it's really long lasting, especially if you're living in a country where it's very humid, like the Philippines. The gel product works best with that sort of climate. One of the disadvantages that I see, especially with gel products, is that once it sets, basically it's there, it's permanent. So it's difficult for you to blend or to really have that playtime. So you really have to work fast, especially with your gel products. Another thing about the gel product is that, again, as what I've said before, you cannot really overload the brush with a lot of products because the tendency is if it's too gunk up or there's a lot of products in the brush, it can create a lot of fallout, especially in the skin, or a lot of flakiness, especially when you apply a thick layer of that gel onto the skin. So once it dries out, sometimes it just falls off to the skin. It's not really a good look. And that's basically it. So that's our eyebrow look with our gel. Next product that we will talk about are powder for the eyebrows. So usually we use a specific powder for the eyebrows, but in this case, I'm going to use an eyeshadow for the brows. So I have right here a palette of different browns and a black, and I'm going to use that to put on some eyebrows. I'm gonna go ahead and get an angle brush and pick up a dark brown shadow. This one is a tad bit red for my liking, especially considering that I have a really dark black hair. So I'm just going to dip a little bit of black and brown alternately. So if you want to achieve that more natural looking brow, the powder product works best with that. So again, the same principle. I'm just going to fill in any gaps or anywhere that I feel like I need some product on. And as you can see, my motion is just up, making sure that I follow the natural direction of my eyebrows. I would usually suggest powder products, especially for people with fuller brows already, and you have some areas that are a little bit sparse. Then you can put the powder product on those areas just to make them fuller. I do not recommend using a powder product, especially for people with sparse brows. I would rather go for a gel product instead of a powder product, only because it has a lot of structure and a lot more intensity compared to the powder product. So I'm going to brush the eyebrows just to blend the powder in. One of the best things about powder products, especially for the brows, is that they were very natural looking. So if you want that sort of shaped brows, but at the same time it's a little bit soft and a little bit more natural, then the powder product is the best product for you. It also is great, especially if you're doing an intense eye look, only because you don't want the eyebrows to be looking very strong. The thing about powder products is that they're not so long lasting, obviously because the skin produces a lot of oil and you sweat a lot all throughout the day. So it's not really advisable for you to use a powder product, especially if the weather is not favorable. So if your skin is quite oily, you might, consider other products aside from the powder. But again, it really depends on you. Whatever you like, do your own thing. Another thing about using a powder for the eyebrows is that you cannot really touch your face, or you cannot really touch any part of that brows, because honey, if you touch it, it's gonna be gone forever. So keep that in mind. Okay, now that we're done with the gel and powder, let's jump right in with pencils. I'm going to use this pencil right here. It's a little bit more angular. I don't know if you can see that, but it's an angled pencil from Smashbox. And I feel like the pencils are really the best products that you can use, especially if you're just beginning to do makeup, or if you're a newbie with makeup. That's basically the easiest one to put. It comes with a variety of types. I do have an angled one here, but you can see a lot of products out in the market that are more tapered, that are more dome top. So there's really a lot of options for you to play in terms of eyebrow pencils. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I've already groomed my eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows with this pencil. I'm just going to brush my eyebrow hairs down, just to fill in the top, like so. And I'm gonna brush it up so that I can see any areas that I feel like needs to be filled in. So the best thing about pencils is that you can really create a more structured look for the eyebrows, but at the same time you can feather it out with you brushing the eyebrows with a spoolie. So you can go from intense to almost like a stain on the skin. So depending on the product that you use, pencils actually work also when you want to have that individually drawn on eyebrows. My pencil is quite new, so you can really have that sort of liberty to draw individual hairs. There are two things that I really find, inconvenient, especially when you're using a pencil, and especially if you are using a sharpened one, is that obviously you need to sharpen it every single time. But I feel like with all the brow products that I use, the pencil one doesn't last as long as a gel or a powder product. But that's just my opinion. That's just based on my experience. And I feel like I need to really top up my products every now and then or every single time, because that's one of the first products in my makeup kit that gets to be used quite often. So for those of you that are new to makeup, I'm excited to know what is the first brow product that you've purchased and from which brand. So the next product that I'm going to use is our eyebrow mascara. So I have here one of my favorite colors. This one, I'm not sure if it's discontinued for MAC, but this one is called Beguile. It's one of the brow sets. And I used to have a lighter hair color, so I usually color my eyebrows matching to my hair color. And I fell in love with this because it's not really a matte, flat color, but it has a little bit of sparkle in it, which gives my eyebrows a multi-dimensional look. For brow mascara, I feel like it really is the best product for people with fuller brows and they just need to, you know, groom the eyebrows or fill in some gaps between the brows. Again, this color might be too light for me right now because of my hair color, but whatever. And I find that this product, especially the clear one, is the best one for male grooming. One of the benefits of using a brow mascara is that it's very easy to apply, so it's really an on-the-go product. And another thing that's really good about them is that they really set the eyebrows to how you want the eyebrows to look. But I find that most of the time, obviously because it's a brush or it has a spoolie at the end, it doesn't really give you that tapered tip that you usually see on Instagram. But if you want that sort of effect, again, you really need to clean it up with a concealer, which does take a little bit of time. And the thing with brow gel or brow mascara, and the thing about brow mascara is that they can tend to be a bit messy, especially when they come in contact with the skin and when they set. It doesn't really work to our advantage. So I usually suggest that if you are going to fill in the eyebrows and tame the eyebrows with a mascara, to have this spoolie on the side, just so you can brush any sort of buildup of product on the skin. That way it looks still more natural. If you haven't seen my brow hack on TikTok, I'm gonna add the link down below so you can check that out as well. That's the quickest way to do your eyebrows. So the last thing that I'm going to show you are liquid liners for the brows. So this one is from MAC and it does have a double-ended applicator. So the other side is like a powder product that you can use to fill in the brows. And another side that has the tip, the liquid tip. So it's the best product that you can use, especially when you want that very natural, individual hair-like look. So that can ultimately give you that. What are you doing there? Or straight hair? But let's carry on. I'm gonna use this to fill in the eyebrows from top to the bottom. I'm just literally following the natural direction where my brow hair goes. And I find that I do this alternately with a spoolie so that it blends to the eyebrows seamlessly. I'm just almost doing a microblading technique on my eyebrows because I'm creating individual hair-like strokes. Another best thing about this is that it really gives you precise application. So it works best with people who really want that bushy brow. Brush that up. Fill in a few gaps. Again, because it's of its precise tip, it's quite easy to fill in any gaps or any sort of space on the eyebrows. And then ever so slightly putting brow hairs right the root of the brows. Making sure I don't apply a lot of pressure or a lot of pressing into the product because I don't want that to be too intense. So again, as what I've said previously, I use the liquid liner for the brows and then follow through with a spoolie just so it blends well to the skin. And I wouldn't recommend this product, especially if you're new to makeup, only because you need to have a lot of control with how you want the product to apply. At the same time, if you're not used to using the product, the brow hairs can go thick and it can go very thick to the point that it doesn't look like natural hair anymore. And it's just like, you know, a thick clump of hair on the brow, which is not a good look, by the way. This product works best if you don't have shaky hands, obviously. But at the same time, you need to really have a lot of practice with this product. But if you've done this quite a few times, you get the hang of it and you get the absolutely perfect feathered brows. So there we go. That's how I do my eyebrows, and I've used all 5 products that I've discussed previously for this brows. What do you guys think? Personally, I feel like brows really make or break the makeup. Again, they always say that brows should be sisters and not twins, and I do agree with that. Sometimes there might be days where your brows are a little bit off, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. Everyone goes through that. Unless your eyebrows are microbladed, then you know the struggle. So that is all for today. I hope that you learned a thing or two about eyebrows, and I hope that I see you next time, mga Megs. And wachika naman ta.